Good evening. My job as student-elected speaker, it would seem, is to pass on to my fellow classmates some words of wisdom, some gem of language and wit for you to take with you into the real world. I could speak of how we SAS students are all part of the cultural melting pot, how we are the perfect fusion of diversity, of character, and of grace. I could regale us all with tales of interim semester and about how it describes us to a T, for we are global nomads and wanderers of foreign hills and towns. I could speak of all these things, but I won't, because this class deserves more. We are a class of overachievers, of underachievers, of artists and athletes, and those who prefer to simply just be. There is a culture attached with high school at SAS, one built around expectations, limitations, and pressure, the pressure to perform. It has been created and given life by our counselors, our peers, teachers, and parents, and all of us have tried to come to terms with this pressure, or even attempted to conquer it, each in a different way. As I see it, we graduates all fall into one of three categories. The top of the class, let's face it, the overachievers, the middle road, or the average, which is made up by the majority of us, and then those who struggle a bit more, the so-called underachievers. These labels are usually perceived as derogatory and bitter, but I'm here to say that they aren't. We are individuals, and each of us and the role we assumed in high school makes this class what it is. So instead of trying to cover us all at once, I would speak rather to each group in turn, to address you as one student to another. I ask you not to look upon these as words of wisdom, but rather as words of tribute, words of sincere and honest observation from my time in high school. And so, my tribute to the class of 2004 begins as follows. Let's work from the ground up, shall we? To the underachievers. Ah, my people. We have chosen to deal with this imposed pressure in the most original way. We distill. That's right, we distill our information. Take that which is applicable at the present time and we apply it. We don't use much all of the rest. We as a group, although not as motivated as some of the others, we do have a clearer perspective on things. We know what we want to do, and we don't waste our times on things that we don't. True, we can shoot ourselves in the foot at times, or maybe we just have a clearer idea of what we want and strive for what motivates us. This is not to say that we don't feel the pressure too. It's always there. All right, so we didn't do every assignment on time, or even every assignment. Our parents may have more wrinkles and might be down a bit more hair. But hey, we made it through and we're wearing the same caps and gowns as everyone else. Has so much potential or doesn't focus are a couple of comments that spring to mind when I think of this group. Some of us truly are unmotivated, or maybe it's that we just haven't found our niche yet and that we've given up looking for it. If I could give you one piece of advice, it would be to never stop looking. Onward to the middle road. Above average, below average, subpar, above par, whatever happened to just plain average? To being okay. It's all right to be okay. There are many things in this world worse than being okay. Everyone has been in this category at some time in their high school career, where you aren't excelling but you aren't doing badly. This is the toughest place to be. Where do you turn? Do you kick it into overdrive and push for something more? Or do you take it down a notch because you realize that you haven't found what you're looking for yet? It's no secret that teachers remember the great students and the horrible students. The rest fall into the category of students, and they're a little harder to recall. But this is where feeling average, feeling mediocre and plain can be the most rewarding. When you go above the expectations people have labeled you with to do something really outstanding, the look is priceless and the pride is unmatchable. Plus, then you've gotten it out of the way, so you can take it easy for a little while. So, here we are. We've finally climbed to the top of the heap. To the overachievers. First, and I've been wanting to say this for so long, you can stop at 4.0. I assure you, it's plenty good, and an A, no matter how high or low the percentage, is still an A. But if you saw things in that light, you wouldn't be where you are now, would you? It's you select few that make the class as a whole strive for the best. Your willingness and thirst for perfection, pronunciation, Mr. Burnett, although ridiculously irritating at points, has helped us hold us all together. You are the leaders of classroom discussion and the people who help generate energy and fervor for learning. Without the competitive edge that you instill in many of us, I doubt that SAS would have many of the records that it does. I have, in effect, answered my own question as to where the pressure for this group comes from. When you become so accustomed to being at the top of your game, The tiniest foul-up would be devastating and make it nearly impossible to forgive yourself. I would feel it too if I were in your shoes, but shouldering the world like Atlas. But I'm not, and let's face it, I never will be. So what I'm saying is that it's all right to let the world slip from time to time. Be selfish. Put your own interest before the colleges and teachers. The pressure that we believe has to go hand in hand with high school is a fallacy. Yes, you should work hard and to your greatest potential. Yes, you should try, and notice I did say try, that's Underachiever 101, to be your most attentive to teachers and peers. But no, you shouldn't sacrifice your health or your moral stand for something that you don't believe in. I was expected to say something that you could use in the real world, but what you've been given in high school is so much more than I can give you. Be it good or bad, high school is the real world. There are people you like, people you hate, people you love, and people that you're just civil to. I know I've done things that I didn't want to, but needed to, things I regret, and memories that I wish I could relive because they were so good. I know that school is finished, and that we've closed our books and our brains to any new lessons, but I ask you to open them back up and take in one more. Learn from each other. No one on this stage will be the same person in 10 years that they are today. Overachievers, take a cue from the underachievers and prioritize. Decide what's truly necessary and what motivates you. Middle road. Heed the advice of the overachievers and don't back down. When the moment comes, don't settle for second when you know that first is within your grasp. Underachievers, follow the middle road's lead and surprise someone by proving them wrong at what they think you are not capable of when you know you full well that you are. Change is good. Open up. Believe you can. Class of 2004, I thank you for letting me learn from you and for helping contribute to who I am and who I will be. And Mike, if you would do me the honor one last time.